Well, I'm very disappointed that we let a 6, 7 point lead get away from us. And as I told the players, look, we had plenty of time to prepare for these people, and we did. And there's not one thing they did that we haven't gone over in the last 4 days. This team has to make a decision whether they want to do what they've been doing for the last 5 years or do they want to change. And when I got here, everybody said we needed a change. But it's almost like, but you're talking about the other guy, Coach, right? No, I'm talking about all of you. We got to play smarter, tougher basketball. For the second time, a key rebound against South Dakota, they got a key rebound against us that almost clinched the game late. That happened again this time. And, yes, we don't have Wes. Yes, we don't have Gordon. I don't use that as an excuse. We built that lead up without Wes. He was hurt already. Now, we need Wes. He's supposed to be our best defensive player, though there are times tonight I wondered that. It is, I think my guys play hard. I don't want to take anything away from them in terms of their effort, but we got to play smarter basketball. And we can't let instincts or things we did in the past interfere with what the game plan is this year, if that makes sense. And, I want to say we were up 51-44 or 51, something of that nature.
49-42.
Is that it?
Yep.
Okay, 49-42. And next thing you know, it's 51-51. And, we fast break a few times and get nothing out of it. And I don't call it a fast. If it's 2-on-2, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, that's not a fast break. That's something. Then you pull it out and you run an offense. And they got it. I believe in using the free throw line. Of course, we didn't do a very good job of hitting clutch free throws tonight. But get at that free throw line, get them in 10 fouls, get at that free throw line, draw fouls, and we didn't do that. So we did not play very smart basketball there from that point on. 51 or 49-42. What's the score, Coach? 70. Do you have a sheet? Because I don't have one. I want to say 74, 73, 64.
Yep.
And so we got outscored 15-31. And I'm not sure when that 49-42 was. Second half. I'll find it for it. 50. It's 49-42 with 13:39 to go. Then we made it 51-44. We did, with 13 minutes to go. Still had a 7-point lead, and that's when they took it. They outscored us. I want to say 51-44 to 56-53. So 12-2. And we have to grow up. We have to mature. We can't be too happy when we get a 7-point lead, and we can't get too down when people get a 7-point lead on us. And Taylor, is it Taylor or Tyler? Tyler, you've been at a lot of our games. It's kind of like the Texas game. We're playing well, and it's 25-22, and they get to 31-22, and shoulders drop. And that's a maturity thing. That's a discipline thing. I'll take some responsibility for it. Maybe I'm not putting enough. Whatever I'm doing, I'm not doing enough of it in the right manner. I don't know. But I've never been in this situation before, so it's hard for me to know. I think the worst I've ever been was we were 9-17 at Stephen F. my first year, and I don't think we started off 4-9 there, if I remember correctly. But nevertheless, it's a new situation. It's a difficult position. Here we got 2 conference games coming up, and we got to bounce back in 3 days and be ready to play Little Rock. So, any questions?
Did how that Landon Atterbury, I guess, and
surprise player tonight. 22 points, 6 rebounds. We never would have thought he would have hurt us, especially 3 for 6 from the 3.
Did you know their bigs could shoot the threes a little bit?
We thought their bigs were. I think he was 4 for 14 from the field prior to this game. So what do you tell your kids? back if they penetrate, help off of him and let him throw it out there to him. And look what he did to us, but E.J. Reed had 15, and I don't know what he had at halftime, but he didn't have much.
0.
He sure hurt us the second half.
Yeah, he had 0 points at half.
So, 15 in one half. That's terrible. And again, he caught it at the basket a couple of times and just took it to our guys. I remember at least 2 or 3 situations where he caught it at the basket, dribbled once, and he didn't fall away. It was I'm going up at you. And that's what you got to do. Just Jason Brickman is one heck of a basketball player. I don't think he gave us. He got 10 assists, 1 turnover tonight, almost 40 minutes. I don't think his shooting, his scoring can be indicative of how much he hurts us. This Gilbert Parga, we didn't think he was going to play. I don't think you thought he was going to play, Rob, before tonight.
Nope.
He's hurt, and yet he's going by our guys, on Achilles strain. 13 points. He's not 100%. That's toughness. That is toughness right there.
How did you feel about Joel Wright coming off the bench? What do you think about his
Well, Joel, got 8 rebounds. Now, I tell Joel, I need some more rebounding other than your missed shots. When Joel puts it up, he knows he misses, he gets it and goes back. But, Joel's defense is got to get better. But he's not the only one. He likes to gamble and steal, and that when he does, that puts us on a 5-on-4 situation at times. And he's got to quit doing that. And I don't know. I wasn't here last year, so I don't know if that was allowed or if that was allowed in junior college. I don't know. But I'm telling Joe that even the great players, whether you talk about NBA or college, they're not doing that. They're not going out there and trying things that they know the coach will be upset about.
We were talking to Kendall just before you came in here, and he was saying it seems like it gets better whenever they start to play your scheme of basketball instead of playing hero ball, is what he would call it.
Well, hero ball is a good word. I didn't use that word. You just gave me a good word to use. I'll use it with the team. It's basically one-on-one. And, look, I can tell you is, I'm going to let my record speak for itself. It just seems like, we have 35,000 plus students here. We got a bigger town, and yet we led the league, the Southland, in attendance the last either first or second. It was either us or Lamar in attendance, and it's because we were winning. I'm talking about particularly the last 7 years. We were winning. People aren't going to come to see people go one-on-one. They're going to come to see winning basketball. I can't tell you. I've said that. If I said it once, I've said it 100 times to these guys. And I don't even know if they realize they're playing hero ball, to use Kendall's term. I was very pleased with Kendall's game today.
Seemed like he kind of picked it up.
I actually thought the 2 freshmen, Caven and Kendall, did a good job. Now, Monty Gant, I'm very upset with him and the way he played. He did get 8 rebounds, but we're not going to throw the ball in there so he can shoot 10-foot jumpers. We're going to throw the ball in there so he can run it up, play it off the glass. I was not very pleased with that. I thought he did a better job in the second half than he did the first. But when we go inside and he's 3 for 11, when you have one player, and I'm not going to put it on Imani or Phil because this has happened to other players throughout the year. But like I tell the kids, I said, look, when some of you go 3-11, 3 for 13, Wes is 0 for 3, Ray's 1 for 3, Victor's 0 for 4. That offset 7 for 13 by Joel, 2 for 3 for Kendall, 4 for 5 by Caven, 4 for 7 by Corey. Other than Imani shooting, everybody, who the inside game was shooting a very high percentage, and that was the plan. Drive it on them like Caven did, where he dunked it twice, or throw it inside and let's go up. They're not a very big team. Don't play an outside game because they were a very perimeter-oriented team. Very perimeter-oriented. We can't play that game. We're not as good as shooters as they are. We're not. And that is hard for those kids to hear. But, 14 and what are we, 28.6% from the three-point line and 38%. If you do a study on how many games we've lost, we have shot the ball more than the opponent in the games we've lost almost every game. We have shot it 6 to 10 times more than they did. So in this game right now, we shot it 12 times more. I think we shot it more than Texas did and lost by 30.
You guys had a lot more offensive rebounds than them, so that gave you a lot of second chance opportunities tonight.
That could be true. That could be true.
So in the next few days, what is kind of your mindset to try?
Go to work
what can you
and
fix?
do what I ask you to do. Go to work and do what I ask you to do. There's a time to go one-on-one when that shot clock is down to 5, 6. Somebody's got to go. Y'all know that. But somebody doesn't have to go with 25 seconds on the shot clock. As often as we do. As often as we do. I'm not going to, you asked about Joel. Joel's not the only one guilty of that. Certainly he is guilty of that to a certain degree. But we have some others who are doing that too. So, I mean, Corey Stern, he got to quit trying to dribble it on the floor. That's not his game. He's got to quit doing that. He's been told that hundreds of times. And sometimes they'll say, Coach, that's a habit. That's hard to break. You got to break it if you want to play. If your boss says don't do that, and when you go to work and you keep doing it, you're unemployed. So, so many of them are so close to being in that situation where they're going to be employed here pretty quick by somebody. They can't give excuses either then. So hopefully, I don't know. We needed this win. We had the chance to win the game. With 13 minutes is a long time to go, but I think they outscored us 13-2 or something like that in that stretch here after a timeout. And I told him, I said, okay, they got a game plan. He's settling them down. They're going to come at you, and you got to withstand the charge or the push. And we didn't. And we had chances. I mean, Phil came down, I want to say 2 or 3 times on a fast break and got nothing. Going one-on-one. Y'all remember that? One-on-one or one-on-two, maybe even. And that's what I'm saying. You got to know when to pull it out and say, this doesn't look good. This does not look good.
But overall, I mean, I know you guys are 4-9, and you want to, obviously be 13-0 at this stage. But no,
I tell you what, I never dreamed about being 13-0. When I look at the schedule we had, I would like to have been 6-7, 7-6, and that's an honest assessment. I'm not undermining these kids' abilities. No one's beating SMU at SMU. No one's beating Texas except Michigan State. Maybe Kansas or somebody else will come in there, but other schools like us maybe played them better, but no one's beating them. I don't know what's happening at Houston. Oral Roberts beat us soundly, but their best player tore a ligament in his knee, and he's out for the year. The kid who had 25 against us is out for the year. So I think they're playing 500 ball or something like that without their best player. And then of course Stephen F is 10-2, and I bet they won't lose again until they play Northwestern State in about 3 weeks. So this is a team we could have beat at home. And certainly South Dakota's a game. Both of you all saw the games. We should have won both those games. So if we're 6-7 and we can get past Stephen F. or Southeast Missouri, one of those two, we'd be where I wanted to be. And unfortunately for these young men, they have played some very tough people. And that's difficult in a year where they're trying to make a transformation from one system to the other. It's hard for me to get them to believe in that system if you're playing tough people and they're beating up on you, if you know what I'm saying.
Is there a little silver lining, though, with conference, a clean slate, if have you?
Sure, that's what I got to use. Thank you, Tyler. That's exactly what I got to use. But I've got to say, we got a chance to start all over. Do it this way. And that's you just hit the nail on the head. That's what I got to do.
Are you seeing improvement? Are you seeing little by little things getting better?
Well, I think first of all, I want Phil to be aggressive. Like there's been some games where he scored 0 or 2 points. That's not what I want. So I can't pull back the reins on him too much. I got to try to let him score. I just thought tonight there was a couple of times he tried to go in there when we had that lead and we lost it. Where Phil, that was not a good decision. And I'm not even going to say I don't know if that's hero ball or just he felt like he could beat his guy to the basket. But I'm just going to say we're not playing very smart right now, and I'm bothered by that because that's somewhat my job too. But we have to not be afraid to get the shot clock down to 10 seconds sometimes, if you know what I mean. In this group, they see it at 15. It's kind of like, we got to get it done. No, that's plenty. You got time. You got time. We were very excited at 51-44, 49-42, and I took 12 seconds, 15 seconds of my timeout. Calm down. There's plenty of basketball to be played. Okay, we got a 7-point lead. Calm down. And so maybe some of it is just we have not had the kind of success we need to understand how to handle those situations. Anyway, like I said, I'm learning some of this myself. You know, and you guys know that obviously that that we've had some suspensions and things like that, and I'm not going to go into that other than to say I've never suspended a player in 22 years, so I'm learning. I'm learning.
With Hawkins, you're saying his struggles. Is it when he goes into the paint that you don't want to do? You want him to kind of be more of a perimeter guy?
No. I want him going in the paint. I want him to penetrate. And I thought on a couple occasions tonight that we didn't have an advantage. And I don't want him to shoot a floater 5 feet from the basket. I want you to take it to the hole, lay it off the glass, lay it over the lip of the rim, not these floaters from 5 feet away. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was gonna say I saw him in the paint a lot, but then it would be a float or something. But I see what you mean when you say you want to be aggressive,
You know.
like take it all. the way.
Secondly, we got to take some hits. When we go to the basket, we got to go get hit. Either get to the free throw line for 2 shots or and one. We're not getting enough of that. I like the way Caven took it to the glass a couple of times today. You know, he needs to learn how to work harder consistently, but the kid's got a lot of promise to him, I think. I don't know what y'all think, but I do think there's some promise there. I think Imani's got a good future if he'll let himself get coached.